There's been a lot going on. I mean, I missed the Derby, no mint juleps. There's house is a mess. A tornado might be coming through. I mean, it sounds like we need to talk whiskey. All right, so today we're looking at a couple great bottles. We're looking at E.H. Taylor, which is one of my favorites. And these are single barrel bottled in bond, so we're looking at 50%. And we've got two bottles, as you can see. One is actually on loan from my good friend Phil, who you might remember from a video where we talked about a Granddad and Maker's Mark, some special bottles there. But he lent this one because this is actually a little bit more unique. This is a restaurant pick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna compare the two and see how much difference there is, because obviously when you're out shopping, you might see these either at Binny's or your local local liquor store, wherever it may be. You might see these bottle picks and you might be curious, like, hey, should I try it? And they're all gonna be a little bit different, right? But we're gonna look at these two and give it a taste. So let me pour some whiskey. All right, so we're gonna start off with the restaurant pick here. Nose-wise, not really a big nose, a little bit lighter. I mean, 100 proof, not super light, but for each Taylor, it feels like it's a little bit light. You have a little bit of honey coming through. There's a little bit of a citrus note to it. And there's also a bit of a like raw alcohol to it, which is not common with E.H. Taylor, I would think. Flavor-wise, you do get a little bit of a woody, almost like an ashy flavor to it. And then it quickly changes. It's actually a little sweet. And I've tasted this a couple of times because honestly, I didn't believe it. But there is a bit of a grape jelly flavor to this. It's pretty wild. Yeah, grape jelly. And the flavor, the finish I should say, isn't very long. It's quite short. Not a lot going on the finish there. It just sort of ends, has a little tingle, but nothing really much to it. Quite a bit of a lighter bourbon, I would say, especially for 100 proof, so a little different. All right, now let's take a look next at the standard pick. So with the regular one, much bigger nose. A little bit sweeter of a nose to it, almost like a candy-likeness to it. Very bright is a good word, almost like a candied cherry, but definitely has like that brightness to it, not like a heavy, dark, syrupy cherry, like I said, sort of like a, if you imagine smelling that sugary candy smell to it. Very different flavors. This one has a lot more of a oak up front, vanilla flavor coming through. It does have a little bit of a sweetness. It reminds me almost a little bit of like a sassafras root, you know, something similar to those candies you would get at like Cracker Barrel or something like that. A little bit of leather to it. Flavor-wise, transitions quite a bit differently. There's not a lot of spice up front. A lot of times with oak and things like that, I get a lot of spice to it. Not really the case here. You have a little bit more vanilla sweetness, like I said, from like that sassafras, and then at the end you come in with a little bit of a tingle. This particular glass has a lot more, a longer finish in comparison to the restaurant pick. So, I mean, these are two very different glasses of bourbon right here. And one just kicked up a little bit more, just a little bit more on the finish. And that's something you have to keep in mind, obviously, if you are out looking at barrel picks. You know, occasionally restaurants will pick out a barrel just for themselves, and they do sometimes sell directly to the public like a full bottle. It's not very common, but it does happen, and sometimes, you know, as a collector, people look out for those things. But also at the same time, you know, keep in mind these are single barrels. So that means you're only getting a limited selection. There could be a bunch of different variants of single barrels out there. So what you find in this one going into your next Binny's, that, I don't know if I got this at Binny's, it was actually a gift. Thank you, father-in-law. But you're gonna get different mileage from each one of them. So it's gonna be really hard to match like numbers, because a lot of times they'll have barrel numbers. But it's a good chance to get out there, try some different whiskeys, and even going back to something that you like, you might get a different experience. So just keep that in mind with your single barrels. You're not always gonna have the same exact style whiskey that you had before. So good choices. I recommend this one. As you can see, this one's quite full, and this is not Phil's favorite. So I can't say, you know, just avoid this, because they're all gonna be a little bit different. But E.H. Taylor's a great bourbon. Definitely try it if you haven't yet. Check out all the different variants. It's getting hard to find, unfortunately. I remember years ago we could find it. Not the case. But anyway, Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions with whiskey or want to drink some, give me a call. And of course, you know I got real estate answers for you too. So I'm Jake Tysiak, Keller Williams. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.